InterDimensional Meditation Astral Travel Report for May 4th, 2025. Creating an interdimensional portal in our home. This is the report for the live guided interdimensional meditation that we did last night, which was Saturday, May 3rd. We do these live guided interdimensional meditations every Wednesday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They're live streamed. I guide you through them. Please show up. They're extremely powerful, and I think, as I said, they're free for everyone. And if you aren't able to make it to the live stream, then go to the live section of my YouTube channel, and you can see all play all of the archived versions and be guided in those. Each one is powerful and different. This is the Michael Denney YouTube channel, formerly the Thunder Wizard YouTube channel. Open contact is here. I am proof of that. If you would like to have your own personal channeled guidance from interdimensional extraterrestrial light beings, you can go to channel.thunderwizard.com. I have two versions. I have a half off version, which is I give you the reading, but I videotape it, and then I will put it up on the channel. We've been doing this very successfully. And if you don't want it to be uploaded, then the normal price is there, and it'll be private just for you. All right, so welcome back. So we're going to, again, talk about what we did last night, the live guided interdimensional meditation. Got some things that we're going to go through, what I remember. Now, as always, please put in the comments what you experienced, what you remember, what happened for you. I don't remember a lot of the things that happen. I get so deep into it, and my frequency gets so high that I can't remember a lot of the things that we do. So I want to hear where, if I misremember or forget certain parts of what was happening, fill in the blanks. I appreciate that. It's helpful for me. And especially, your personal experiences of what was said to you, what you experienced. Feel free to write those in the comments as well. I love reading those. I'm sure other people do as well. All right, so I want to talk about a couple of things. First one is I'm noticing that as the energy is increasing in the shift that we're experiencing, is that I'm really noticing really pathological narcissism in the people around me. And it's becoming a lot more noticeable and a lot less tolerable. I'm not as able to tolerate other people's narcissism. And really being, able to feel how toxic it is and how important it is not to get pulled into people's drama and chaos and nonsense. Of course, my own narcissism is coming to the surface as well, and I'm working hard to, act contrary to that, as I talk about a lot. So I think this is a good sign, because I think this shift and working with light beings, higher dimensional energy, continuing to work with that energy, I think what it does is it heals narcissism. Narcissistic wounds, as well as our own, narcissist tendencies. The other thing I'm noticing is that I'm realizing, as I'm looking back on my life over the past couple of years, that if I really get a strong feeling about something and I say out loud, I end up getting that. And what will happen is that my life will manifest in such a way that it will start creating exactly what I said, even if I'm trying to go in another direction. If I go in another direction, those things will fall apart, and I'll get pushed back, and magically the thing that I said I wanted before will manifest. This happened when I went to Australia. the last time when I got there, I was all flipped out thinking I wasn't going to be able to stay. And I remember saying out loud with a lot of passion, I just want to stay here one more year. Just give me that. And that's exactly what I got. And this, where I'm at now, I had I had said where I wanted to live, and it looked like that wasn't going to happen. So I made plans to live in other places, and those places canceled on me at the last minute. And then out of nowhere, another rental property in the area that I wanted to live popped up, and boom, I had exactly what I said I wanted. So I'm coming to find out that that's more important than looking at the future, looking at how much money you have, where things look like they're going to go. What's more important is that you decide what it is that you want and you verbally state it. Like you verbally state it out loud. So I'm in a spot now where, and another thing that happened, this is a result of doing the interdimensional meditations, is that when I focused, even though everything started falling apart in terms of my housing a while back, and I started looking at what I wanted, which I didn't think was possible, and I said, I want to live, and I stated where it was, I felt the jolt. I felt the blissful, energetic jolt of a light being saying, that's what you're going to get. Even though it wasn't possible and hadn't manifested yet. And then all of a sudden, poof, the perfect home manifested for me. And I'll never forget that. So it's happened again. So I'm looking forward. Now, long story short, I've come to learn the hard way that I cannot stand living in northern Florida in the winter. It's horrible. Come May 1st, it becomes a tropical paradise. And it lasts like that all the way through, into November. Even it's just this wonderful tropical paradise, and then middle of December it becomes the North Pole. It's horrible. So I know going forward I've got my housing situation set up to get me to December, and then I don't know where I'm going to be. And instead of worrying about finding a place to live where I don't want to live, I stopped and I said, maybe I'm going to get something else. So I said, what is it that I want, even if it's impossible? And I said, well, what I want is I want to live back in Australia, and I want to live there indefinitely. And as soon as I said that, I got hit with that jolt of blissful energy. Now, I don't know what that means, but the last couple of times that's happened, I've gotten exactly what I said I wanted. So this is an experiment. Come January of 2026, if I'm still in northern Florida, then we know that whatever I experienced wasn't what I thought. But based on the past couple of times this has happened, even though it's impossible, as I look forward, 8 months from now, that's an impossibility. But that jolt tells me that that's where I'm going to be. So this is an experiment. We'll come back to this. I'm sharing with this so that you can, again, I share with you my process. So I encourage you to do that. Look forward. If you've got anxiety about what's coming for you, going forward, and things look really bleak, what I'd like for you to do is to stop and imagine what it is you want. If you could snap your fingers and have whatever it is that you wanted, imagine that and then verbalize it. Now, if you're like me, it means that you're going to get that. And as we're shifting higher into what we're calling 5D, we are becoming more and more magical in our ability to speak reality into existence. So, we'll see what happens. All right, let's get into the interdimensional report for May 4th, 2025. All right, we started with the Hool breath warm-up, and then we did an interesting thing where we descended into Naga Loka. All right, so that's not something we haven't done before, but this felt a little bit different. As we did the Hool breath, we created the light column that went all the way up to the highest heavens and down into the center of the earth. So the way I remember it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that after the Hool breath warm up, we went down into Nagaloka. Is that what you remember? That's how I remember it. Let's see. And then we were invited into a special gemstone throne room. All right, so what do you remember happened? This is how I remember it. We went down there, and there was a special gemstone, and we sat on it. Like we were invited to take a seat and sit on a special gemstone for us that had a specific color. Now mine was green, which is different. Normally I get other kinds of colors. I know off the top of my head that green is Mercury. So all the things associated with Mercury, communication, intellect, research, knowledge, wisdom. That's Mercury does that. So I said, I was expecting a different color, but mine was green. So I remember that. And then I don't remember exactly how it happened, but at some point we were invited into a special throne room at the center of Nagaloka. And it was like a round room, and there was a shaft of light that was coming, down from who knows where at that point. And we were invited to sit on our gemstone. And then I can't remember exactly what happened. There were Nagas that came up and communicated with us. And I think at one point, if I remember correctly, let me see, did I talk about this? No. Yes, given special lordship over certain power. Okay, so we were given special lordship over a certain power. So the Naga being was to come up, and I think I said the Naga being had a crown. Did I say that? Something about them being like these really kingly, regal beings. And they were going to tell us one word that was our power. So the first word that I got was knowledge. So my power was knowledge. And then that was also, it wasn't just one word, it was two. And then that morphed into communication. And when I realized it was communication, I got hit, boom, with a huge amount of very blissful energy. And that's always a light being who's confirming that was, so my power is communication that comes from knowledge. That turns exactly what the green color is. Green represents those things. So that was interesting. And then was told that was something that was my special power, that I had, lordship over, something like that, some kind of powerful authority over that thing. I'd love to hear what yours was. What did they tell you? All right, so then we rose through the light in the ceiling and we went to Shiva. So I think a couple of things happened when we were down in that throne room. Please tell me what else we did. I'm not remembering everything. But the next thing that I remember we did is that we went up through this shaft. As I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm getting filled with all kinds of blissful energy. So there's something really beautiful about what we did. So we went up through this shaft. I can't remember if something happened while we were floating up through that. If you remember, please tell me. But I remember then that turned into the shaft of light that comes out of us and goes all the way up to Shiva. So we went up to Shiva. What happened after that? I can't remember. I don't remember what happened after that. I believe there was some interchange between us and Shiva. Please refresh my memory. I don't remember what we did. Then we came back into 3D and performed CE5. So I don't remember after that. I think maybe I ended the meditation. I can't remember. I do remember at some point I ended the meditation, and we came out of it, and I didn't stop it. I said, there's something else we need to do. And so I took us through a CE5 protocol. So CE5 protocol, if you don't know what it is, go look it up. If you've seen videos, on YouTube or wherever, sometimes of people taking videos of these light crafts that, morph into different things. And, if you've ever watched Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is a movie which you can watch for free on YouTube and I think on Amazon Prime, and might be other places. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Not Third Kind, not the movie. Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. You see film and pictures and video of absolutely crazy things. So that phenomena of lights and beings appearing and being able to take pictures of extraterrestrials that you can't see with your naked eye, but you can pick it up with sometimes with digital cameras. You'll pick up really crazy stuff. That is a result of what's called CE5. So I took us through that, and the whole point was to vector a being back into your room, physically bring the being back. Now, you're not bringing them; they're choosing to come. But what you do is you create a portal. That's why CE5 is so important. And I have to tell you from personal experience, it's virtually impossible for a third dimensional human being to have a physical interaction with a higher dimensional extraterrestrial if you don't, because there is a dimensional barrier, and you have to create that portal. And the way that's done is CE5 ends up doing that. When you go out, imagine yourself in your astral body going out into interplanetary space, and then you make the mental invitation, please come and visit me in my home. And then you imagine yourself going back down into Earth's atmosphere to your home with the intention of leading that being to where you are. They don't need that. They know where you are. But you need that. You need to create that portal. And then when you do that, then you can open your eyes and wait. Look up in the sky, look for a craft. Maybe they won't show up in a craft because it won't be safe for them, because, as you know, humans are shooting them down and reverse engineering and taking them captive and doing all kinds of horrible things. But if they can, they will, beam into your home. You might not be able to see them. You might see orbs. You might be able to, your radio might do strange things. You might be able to take pictures of them if they'll let you. And that can be really interesting. But really what I wanted is for you to have the direct physical connection with them. When we're out in our astral bodies, we connect with them astrally. But actually being able to physically be in their presence and have their frequency affect you is, there's nothing like it. And I think it's very important. And so I wanted to be clear exactly how to do that. Now, when I did it, it absolutely worked. When at the end of the meditation, and we went out there and I invited a being, I felt a being, I then vectored that being back into my home, and you saw in the video, I felt this huge energy, and I know that being was in the room with me. And it was, as it turned out, it was somebody very close to me, and it was somebody who the love that I experienced was overwhelming. You probably saw it in my face. The connection, and that lasted for a while. After the video ended, I believe that I laid down and went into a meditative state and had a very strong, beautiful connection with that being. Very incredibly loving, supportive, wonderful being. And as I suggested, I invited that being to communicate with me and to connect with me as often as she wanted. And she had permission to come and visit me anytime. And so I wanted to share that with you so that you would know how to do that. Because this is probably the single most powerful thing we can do to shift ourselves. Now we have to do our part, and I'm going to make a video talking about why energy work is so important, if not necessary, for this, facilitate this, but I'll save that for another video. Anyway, there it is. So that was the interdimensional meditation report, where we ended up creating an interdimensional portal in our homes. So you can do that. If you want to do CE5 every day, create a connection, invite beings back, watch what happens. I did that for first couple of years, and look at where I'm at now. I'm channeling these beings. So anyway, I hope this was my ramblings. I hope it was entertaining and or enlightening for you. You know what to do. If you want this channel to stay on the air, there are various ways that you can support the channel while empowering yourself. Go to thunderwizard.com and subscribe. Subscribe to the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong or above. Go to the shop at thunderwizard.com and look at all of the various practices that are available for you. If you want a channeling, like you've seen in some of the videos I'm just uploading, if you want me to channel the light beings and have them talk to you, that's another way to create a portal that will expand in your life. They use me to create a portal which will expand your connection with them. Then go to channel.thunderwizard.com. If you want to find out about my books and any other things, go to michaeldenney.org. Your support of this channel is necessary. Without it, I can't do anything. So you get something out of it, I get something out of it. That's it, my friends. I love you all very much. Most important thing, I think, is to show up for these live guided interdimensional meditations every Wednesday and Saturday, and or go watch the archived versions in the live section on this YouTube channel. That's it. Be good to yourselves. I love you all. I will see you all very soon.